What happened aboard MH370 is as puzzling as it was unprecedented. About 40 minutes after takeoff, it disappeared from radar. Its transponders stopped broadcasting. But military radar detected the plane veering inexplicably off course. And later, a maintenance computer started sending signals, 7 in all, to a satellite. That confirmed to investigators the jet continued to fly for 6 more hours southward to the Indian Ocean. They assumed MH370 must have become a ghost flight. The pilot somehow incapacitated, the plane eventually running out of fuel, spiraling from cruising altitude to the ocean. That theory led to 2 massive searches which turned up nothing. Now, a veteran Canadian air crash investigator says the officials made what he calls a glaring mistake, failing to properly study the only physical evidence of the crash. Larry Vance was one of the main investigators of the 1998 Swiss air crash south of Halifax. In a new book, Vance says he's certain one of MH370's pilots remained in control until he landed on the water. Vance has done a detailed analysis of the wreckage that washed ashore, including this key piece, a flap. He says it has signs, so-called witness marks, which show it was deployed by a pilot and then scraped against the water in a landing designed to keep the plane intact before it sank. Vance says if there had been an uncontrolled dive, the flap would have been extensively damaged and there would have been thousands of pieces of floating debris. And Larry Vance joins us from Ottawa. You don't have the data recorders here, Larry. You have very little from the plane itself. How can you be so sure of your conclusions?
Ian, just by good circumstance, we have the exact pieces of wreckage that appeared on the coast of Africa to tell us exactly what happened at the end of the flight. We know from those pieces that the aircraft went into the ocean at a relatively low speed, normal ditching speed, and we know that it was under control by a pilot.
And you also believe this shows the pilot had a goal here to do this undetected and for this plane never to be found.
That's the exact intention of the pilot, in my opinion, and I don't think many people will argue with me after they see the evidence in the book. This airplane was landed on the surface of the ocean in such a way as to cause the least possible damage, to make it go to the bottom all in one piece and to stay there undetected forever. That was the intention of the pilot, and he almost succeeded.
Now, once you got to through the review of the evidence, determining that this was a pilot-controlled landing, and you plug it in with the other things we know, you were able to go through some of the other theories and eliminate them. And you show why it couldn't have been a missile that brought down this plane. It wasn't a fire that brought it down. But we do end up with 2 possibilities. One is a physical hijacking, and by that I mean somebody on board. And the other theory is a suicide mission by the pilot. Why do you feel it likely was not a hijacking?
Well, Ian, I go through quite a lengthy explanation in the book to explain why it wasn't a hijacking, but basically the sequence that happened doesn't fit. It doesn't fit with the beginning, where the transponder went off less than 2 minutes after the last normal transmission from the pilot. It doesn't fit with the actions that were taken afterwards, and it certainly doesn't fit with the ending. A hijacking can be ruled out.
We just have 20 seconds left. One thing you do not address in this book is why. Why would this pilot go on a suicide mission?
Ian, I would leave that to experts in that field to determine. My expertise is wreckage analysis and aircraft accident reconstruction. I'll leave it to others to figure out why he would do that.
And there is a detailed analysis in this book for sure, which is available now. Larry Vance, thank you.
Thank you very much, Ian.